Hi friends, good morning. Glad you were able to join me today. I'm Atunde and welcome to my channel, or however you join me this morning on your social media, whether you see my video on Facebook, my clips on Instagram, you're signed up for notifications on my YouTube channel, or you go directly to my website. I want to say thank you. I want to say I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to share some time with me, as well as to engage with me. I really appreciate you all. I've seen some of your comments. Keep commenting on the videos. That gives me encouragement, but also gives me things to think about. I really appreciate you all. Friends, last time we talked, I shared what is wellness, as well as what my journey to wellness looked like. And although it is very exciting to share my wellness journey with you, getting to this point to share this video number, I want to say 4 or 5 for me, has been a little difficult. And I say it's been difficult because I understand, as you know, just to recap, in the last video I talked about my awareness of my wellness and my needing to be well because I was unwell. And for me, I talk about wellness as a shift in consciousness or a shift in awareness. And for me, I named the matrix. It's like taking the red pill. The red pill awakens you to your state of former being unwell to wellness. Now keep in mind, wellness does not mean that you're whole, that you're complete. It just awakens you to your state that you are and you can be and you will be well. But wellness is a journey. Wellness is a path, or however you want to name it. And for me, my path or my journey to wellness has been about making good on, or remedy, or finding a remedy, or correcting, or healing from me not being well in some way, shape, or form, or in some part of me, whether it's my emotions, my spirit, my physical body, my intellect, the way that I'm thinking about things, right? So as I understood that I was no longer unwell, because when you shift from a state of being unwell to a state of being well, there isn't a crossing back over into that. Remember in the matrix, I named that in the last video, when you take the red pill, you can't go back. There's no way for you to go back. So you never get back to a state of being unwell. But there are moments and places where you are not well. And you're not well impedes your wellness, not your state of being unwell, because you're no longer in that state. It is the work to be well to remedy not being well. Okay? So in my journey of working on myself, of not being well in certain areas, I realized that wellness is not fun. You know, it's not the way that we name wellness, right? I talked about how there are trends and ways that people talk about what wellness is, right? And I call those wellness mechanisms, or wellness regimens, or wellness things that we do to be well, right? That's not our wellness. Wellness is about this internal work. Wellness is about the emotional work. Wellness is about the mental work And wellness is about the spiritual work. And it bothered me because I knew that I could not just speak on wellness strategies as well as the ways in which we talk about wellness, right? The wellness strategies. And I have some here because, like I said, I'm a note taker and I will share these with you. But I must be first partaker of the lesson. I'm a scholar. I'm a teacher. I'm your guide here. And I would be unauthentic if I do not share with you in those moments of understanding that I had shifted from unwell to well. What wellness was. It was like being reborn, being a brand new baby, needing a mother, needing comfort, needing a blanket, needing a bath, needing food, whatever those comfort things are that we give our newborns. I was a mess. Wellness is uncomfortable, friends. And I would be lacking in the lesson if I don't tell my story of wellness in its uncomfortable state in the beginning. I remember when I had got into this awareness that I was well, but I had to work on spaces and places where I was not well. And I have this book here. I was reading this book, Tony Cade Bambara, The Salt Eaters. And I was having a hard time reading this book, friends, because this book is about wellness. But for me, I was looking for it to be this, okay, you read this and this is what you do to be well. I was looking for the destination. I was looking for the how-to, and I no longer had to work on spaces of me not being well. I didn't want to do that work because I saw it as being unwell. I had not given myself permission to claim my wellness, although I was still working on spaces where I was not well. So I came across a part in the book, and I'm just gonna paraphrase it because I want you to read this textbook for one. What I've learned as well, side note, is that for me, when there was a shift in my wellness or a need to shift in my wellness, where I was being stubborn because I was comfortable in my not wellness, Spirit sent a black woman. For me, I understood that on my path to wellness, when I was needing nurturing, when I was needing care, when I was needing a stern yet firm hug, and you get yourself together, Spirit sent a black woman to me. And I can name 4 to 5 times in particular where Spirit had sent black woman to me. And one, I had just finished my my bachelor's program. I was excited. Yay, I'm finished, I'm done. So I thought. And I'm driving in my city to my house, and I drive past this university, the University of Tulsa, where I'm currently residing. And I can hear, because I feel, I hear, I know, I understand Spirit, because we got a relationship, right? You understand Spirit through the relationship that you have with Spirit. So for me, I see and I hear, and we'll talk about that in a later video. I heard Masters of Education, and I almost wrecked my car because I was upset because I was done with schooling. I was done with all of that because schooling is hard work. Because for me, when I was in high school, I had a guidance counselor say, "Oh, you're so pretty. You don't need to go to school. Someone's going to take care of you." That wasn't always true in my experience. But it was also a lack of investment in my intellectual knowledge, in my spiritual gift, right? Because that was a spiritual violence, intellectual violence on the part of my school counselor, high school student, right? You're encouraging other people to go take these paths, but you didn't see that in me. So as I reflected on that one moment, I saw it as intellectual and spiritual violence. But Spirit had another plan, because that was a part of my path. As I've shared before, I have a PhD in education at this point. Who knows where Spirit is going to lead me? Didn't see myself here. But I was upset with that realization that that was the next step that I needed to take. But I took the step anyway. And when I got to the University of Tulsa, I've come across this wonderful woman, one of my mentors. Her name is Daniela Cook, Dr. Daniela Cook. And I was taking a class with her on race, research, and narrative. Never forget it, my first master's class. And I wrote a paper in the class, a story, and she said, "You need to teach." And I looked at her, I'm like, "Miss, please, you nice and all. Thank you very much. I'm glad you liked the story. But that's it. I'm just doing what I'm told because Spirit led me here." But the more that I engaged with her and I began to love her and she began to love on me, sternly and sometimes, she led me where I could not see myself going. Sometimes when your vision is cloudy because you have not yet understood where you're not well, Spirit will allow someone to take you by the hand and lead you to the next step. And I'm grateful for her because she was the first to see in me what I couldn't see in myself, which led me to another black woman who is yet in... Now this one here is a firecracker, because I met Dr. Denise Taliaferro Brazil, who was my dissertation chair, mentor, sister friend, at a conference. And it was as if Dr. Cook had handed me off because she had led me on my journey as far as she would take me right into a PhD program. And it was a setup between the two of them at the time where they had a conversation where I wasn't included. And I was in a PhD program. But mind you, I still had to do the work. I had to finish my master's. I had to write my master's thesis. I had to submit an application. I had to do the work. I had to trust myself enough to say, even though I can't see it now, I trust them. I love them enough, and I know that they love me, right? Spirit will have people in your space, in your place, to help move you along in your wellness journey. So I'm in my PhD program, and it wasn't until I was in my 4th year that I really got it. I deserve this. I'm worthy of this. I belong here. I too am Dr. Williams. Williams is my given name. That's my legal name. That's my daddy's name. First man who loved me. That's another story. But I had taken ownership of my wellness intellectually, mentally, but also spiritually, because I understood that my wellness was something that I had written out, that I can tell my stories, being a guide. I guide myself on the journey as I have others lean into what I share as a guide for themselves. Remember, friends, I am not your healer. You're your healer. I get to live my healing in front of you as a how-to, as a guide for you to take the best parts for you to be well. So, finished my program, and what I had become aware of, even while reading this book, because in the book, one of the characters is talking to this young woman who is unwell. And she says to her, do you want to be well? Because healing is no trifling matter, baby. Healing is work. Healing is the most rewarding, most disturbing, uncomfortable state that you will be in. But you will become aware that this is the very lifeblood that you need. You can't do without it. And as I was on my own journey, I had become aware that wellness was the only state that I wanted to be in. But it was uncomfortable. It's like, okay, hold up. This is a state of me not being well. This thing is causing me not to be well. This person is causing me not to be well. Because my wellness as an awareness also caused me to shift. I could no longer be who I was or who I was operating as. I had to redefine and rename myself under this new awareness. And as I named and defined myself, I redefined my function and my use. So in those moments, that's where I was uncomfortable, because I did not want to hurt the ones that I loved or I thought I loved. I realized that I was engineering myself to be small, because when I was a young girl, I hid. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't speak a lot. Now, mind you, that does not mean that I was not out front. I was seen by some as being rebellious. I talked too much. But I had engineered myself to go this far. Okay, that's enough. Right here is good. But I had to trust Spirit, big as the tethering part of me, that there was more, and there was better, and there was bigger. And it scared the heck out of me. And in this moment, even now, I'm vulnerable and being transparent. This space is a space of wellness for me, because my storytelling is innately a part of my mental, my emotional, my spiritual wellness. Because in the very act of telling my story, I am growing even more spiritually. I'm understanding myself more. So I'm being more connected to my wellness. So these are the ways in which, for me, my wellness gets enacted. It becomes a mechanism to my wellness. So there are 3 ways in which I understand these are 3 components that are necessary for me to be well. So what I call these things, these mechanisms, these stages, or 1, stand up, 2, let go, and 3, lean in. So Atunde, what does stand up mean? Glad you asked. So for me, in order for me to be well, as a wellness strategy, right? These 3 stages or paths. Wellness strategies. Standing up for myself. Standing in my truth. This video, me standing in a state of vulnerability and transparency, of wanting to engineer myself to be small, because a little part of myself was afraid. What if they see me? What if they make fun of me? What if they don't like me? What if, right? It was always these big bad wolf, right? Snapping at me. But I had to trust that I had grown enough to be able to stand in and up for my truth. That I had done enough work to be whole and authentic in the place that I had decided to stand. In ways that I've stood up, okay, as a wellness strategy, simply is having a state of forgiveness for myself, for my past self, right? I understand that me engineering myself to be small came out of a space where T12 had this fear, and I had to go back and heal in my 12-year-old self, because she is where I began to be the workaholic and the perfectionist. Friends, I can wrap circles around people being a workaholic, but I also run in a circle because I had to be busy doing something, because I felt as my 12-year-old self that my busyness was my worth and my validation. If I was doing something, then I was worthy of something. But I had to heal. And I had to stand in a state of forgiveness for myself and for people. Because trust me, when you are busy, you run out of doing stuff for you. And then you start doing stuff for other people, right? And they'll let you do it happily, wholeheartedly. Hey, I take this off my plate, right? But as I became aware that my busyness was just a state or a place for me to not be still, not to rest, not to honor myself, not to go in within, I had to shift, which leads me to letting go. I had to let go of the need to be busy all the time. and find other states of being. I have an ancestor wall here, friends, and I can share that with you. These are people from both sides of my family here, and most have gone on, crossed over, transitioned. And my family was a family and is a family of doers. Business owners, we move, we conquer. But we also don't know how to rest. And what I've learned is that I was dishonoring myself and those that had gone before me if I was always in a state of being busy or a state of busyness. Friends, rest is a revolutionary act. We honor our ancestors when we take a moment and rest, because at some point they weren't able to. So rest is not only a part of the healing process, but also in honoring those parts of ourselves, but as well as those that have come before us. Saying no, also a part of standing up and letting go. No is a complete sentence. No, period. It's a complete sentence. If you want to be fancy, I say it, no. Complete sentence. No saved me. And then as I went on, let me think about it, because I knew that there were some places that I needed to think or reflect on what the ask was, if it was something that would benefit me and my wellness. So I needed to think on it, so I didn't give an answer right in the moment. And I would also say, if you require an answer now, then my answer is no. But if I can have a moment, 24 hours, a couple of days, 2 days, to think about what you're asking me, I'll get back to you. I promise. It saved me. Also, understanding that no is not selfish. It's self-full. It's about self-fulfillment. No allows you to make room for the next part of you that needs to rest and reside. No also is a boundary. And we talked about boundaries in the last video. No is also a border. I can only do this much. Right? Also, in letting go, I said yes to me. I read Shonda Rhimes' book, The Year of Yes. And I was like a laughing, crying mess, because I could relate to a lot of the things that she was saying as a mother, as a woman, as a Black woman, as a person. And that was also my state of awareness of engineering myself to be small, not wanting to be seen. So in my moment of whatever you want to call it, I decided to do that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to say yes to everything that scares me. And I did. With a caveat. Everything that scared me as a result of me not being well. Because I had engineered myself to be small because there was a part of me that was not well, right? But in my path to healing that part of myself, Me saying yes allowed a gentle movement to happen. It was not a rushing mighty wind. It was a cool breeze. It was a calm. So some of the things that I said yes to. I said yes to speaking engagements. I said yes to conferences. I said yes to mentoring people. Not at the time understanding that was, I understood the conferences and the speaking engagements, but having people flock to me or bond with me or come to me was a useful tool for me to understand my role of being here. I was innately able to share parts of myself with people for them to begin to break open, for them to be able to see themselves in a different way, for them to begin to heal. So it moved me along my path, and now I'm here with you today just by saying yes. But also having gratitude. Friends, I tell you what, a life without gratitude is a life lackluster. You don't see the good in your life without gratitude. This big cup, I'm so grateful for it. I mean, I could put so much coffee in this cup. Having gratitude allows a shift in your energy field. It allows a shift in your emotions. It allows a shift to happen spiritually. I'm grateful for the day. I'm grateful for the sun coming through the window here. I'm grateful for the cool air in my house. I'm grateful for food in the refrigerator. I'm grateful for the connections and the people that I am connected to, my tribe. I'm grateful for my time with you, expanding my tribe. Gratitude makes everything enough. It makes you step into the present moment, which is another wellness strategy. Being present is all that we have. We don't have the past, although we get to revisit it. We get to remember it because that's where our work is, right? That's where our healing is from the trauma. That's where our wellness dwells, our not wellness dwells, rather. Our not wellness dwells in our past. Some of it dwells in our future because of how we see it. But being in the present moment allows for both past and present to stand still and for you to come back to you. Because when you are in the past, a part of you is there. And when you are in the future moment, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to go here, I got to do this, I got to be, right, blah, 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 blah. A part of you is there too. When you're in your present moment, you snatch yourself out of the past and out of the future, and you just be right here. And when you be, you can be grateful. That's where your gratitude gets to increase. I am well. I have enough. I am enough. All of those are present tense. I am wellness secured. I am grounded. I am loved and worthy of love. I am worthy to receive love and to give love in return. There is reciprocity in every relationship that I have. That's gratitude in the present moment. Also, as I mentioned, having grace with your growth. remembering, revisiting, and healing in those moments, those past moments of trauma and pain and whatever you want to name it, needs grace, friend. Because without grace, we beat ourselves up. We dwell in shame. We dwell in guilt. So before you step into the shame, bring grace with you. Grace becomes your shield. I heard, and your buckler for my Christian friends. Shield and buckler, right? Or my riding staff. Bring that grace with you, because you get to recognize your growth. Recognition is growth. Realization is growth. Because you didn't know what you didn't know. It's the shift that you were looking for. My aha. Oh my goodness. I was not well. Then the healing gets to begin. You get to do the work, right? To be well. Future. Friends, the last thing that I want to name is leaning in. In my process, my path to wellness, I have really had to lean in to my uncomfortableness. The only thing that is constant in our lives is change. The only thing that we can rely on is change. Change is ritualistic. It's never the same day twice. We can never recapture a moment, although we try sometimes. We can never relive it, although we feel like that sometimes. Change is always dynamic, moving. It's reliable. So leaning into change has allowed me to understand that because of the ritualistic way that change happens, is that I get to be better a year from now. I get to be greater in the next month. I get to be in a new place next year, right? When I started my PhD program, which scared the heck out of me, because remember, Dr. Taliaferro Bazile and Dr. Cook had cooked up this whole plan. Oh, I'm like, what we doing? And what? I sat down after I had gotten over being upset with these women. How dare you? I'm grown. I had gotten over being scared. I said, in 5 years, you will be whatever age I was going to be at the time. Where will you be in 5 years? Because you'll be here. We plan to be here in 5 years. Where do you want to be? See yourself, although you don't now, trust that they do. Lean in. Take it one step at a time. Although it is comforting for us to see the yellow brick road, right? We get the whole path. Life doesn't happen that way for us. Most times. Most times we see the next step. Maybe two. And if you're, I don't want to say lucky, because luck is a thing. Blessed. Right? You might see three steps ahead. That's good. Some of that might be some planning, right? But the next step is all you need. Look, I don't know how I'm going to get for me, because Spirit has showed me this big thing. Because remember, I was engineering myself to be small, right? But in my meditation, part of my wellness, my daily rituals, Spirit has shown me this big thing. And I'm like, ooh, bless your heart, Spirit. I don't know about all of this because I didn't see how to get there. But in the wisdom that Spirit has, and the love that Spirit has for us, it only shows us a little bit at a time, because the rest will scare the heck out of you, right? I know it would do it for me. But that next step, oh, I could do that. It might make me uncomfortable, which it was, right? It was making me uncomfortable. But I can do it. One of the mantras that I have come to live by is one that is coined by Teddy Roosevelt. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is knowing that there is something greater than the fear, and doing it anyway. Doing it until the fear subsides. Dr. Brene Brown also talks about this in many of the books that she's written on vulnerability and being brave, right? I love her. Love her. Use her in my work as well. But that level of courage that I needed was necessary for me to do what I saw myself in the next step. Remember? In the next step doing. That next step was greater than my fear. And before you know it, I was stepping across the stage, being hooded, Dr. Williams. And now I'm here with you. This was a step. Like I said, friends, at the start of this video, this was uncomfortable because I had to share that wellness wasn't about spa days or girls' night out or guys' night out, friends. Now, that's mechanisms of wellness, absolutely. But our wellness is a direct reflection of our inner state of being. And I want it to be well, because I am well. To become well. So I had to do this work, friends. Wellness is work. It is the standing up. It is the letting go. And it is the leaning in to those parts of ourselves that we engineer to be unwell or not well. Because being in a state of not being well is what we know. At least I know this. I know what's going to happen. It seems, right? This is not going to change. But it does. It becomes a new state of not being well. It surprises you how this state of not being well could be. We get deeper into a state of not being well because change is constant. We just go deeper into a state of not being well. So standing up, self-affirmation, and self-validation for me has become a state of wellness. I am enough. I am imperfectly perfect for me and my tribe. I am wellness secure. I attract wealth. Wealth is a state of abundance, and I am abundant in wealth, health, and wellness. Living in the present moment, stopping my past and my future from colliding with me, and being grateful, having grace, because I've grown, I've shifted, I've been transformed, transmuted into something greater, something better. Also, making room for those rituals. Like I said, wellness is an internal state that is manifest or reflected in the ways that we be, right? Atunde loves her nails, loves all those accoutrements of being the woman that she is. But those things are nothing without making sure that my wellness is secured. And the ways in which I secure my wellness is, like I said, saying no, saying yes, standing up, letting go. I'll let you know if I can do that for you, if I can be present for you in that way. Boundaries, having them, saying them, holding them, defending them. Self-care, sitting in silence. I have a cry day often. Crying for me is my release of the soul. Sometimes I don't even know why I'm crying. I'm not even sad in my present moment, but a part of me needed to cry when I couldn't. So I cry for her now. I say it's okay. 12, 18, 25, because we here. We've returned. They need to cry. It's okay. I get to do that for them. Bathing. Oh my God. I am a water bug. Love, love, love. Long soaks. I have a waterfall shower in my hydrotherapy room. Yes, friends, I've named every room in my house because it's how I see it. This is the International Cafe that we're in, friends. My hydrotherapy room, some of you all call it a bathroom, is a place that I get to have my water therapy, hydrotherapy, right? I have a living sanctuary. Some of y'all call it a living room. And my living sanctuary is where sometimes I need to just lay down on the floor and cry on my face. Be mad with spirit. I watched this movie called The Apostle many years ago, and the main character, his actual name slips my mind at this moment, but he would go outside and he would yell at God. The same. I did the same. But in my living sanctuary, I get to commune, have a relationship with. If I cannot question spirit, there is no relationship for me. Because I need to know. I need to know. And in spirit's loving way, those things are revealed to me through our relationship. Right? I have also what I call the duvet day. Duvet days are once a week. I don't work. I do what I want to do. I may do a facial at home or go get a facial, pedicures. It's like the day that once a week I cook the big meal for myself and I eat it in the International Cafe. But it's a day, if I decide, I wake up when I wake up. I get out of the bed and I put my feet on the floor when I decide to. I'm not on that schedule where I'm regimented all through the day, right? Because I have to be active and effective, positive ways now. Doing the work, right? Being present. But duvet day allows me to sleep in. I also do wellness checks every morning before I open my eyes. I come back to myself. I'm just between sleep and awake. How am I feeling spiritually, mentally, physically? I check my head. I check my throat, my arms, my legs, my toes. A wellness check. And once I do my wellness check, my assessment, I do my gratitudes. I'm well. I am wellness secured. I am loved. I see, I hear, I connect with spirit. I am spirit. And spirit dwells inside of me. I am abundant. I vibrate at the frequency of wealth, health, and wellness. Put my feet on the floor. Get to my day. These are the rituals that I do as my wellness mechanisms, along with making sure that I lean in. I'm uncomfortable, but I do it anyway. Because wellness is a journey. Wellness is an undoing of the not wellness in our past. So in order for us to be well, we have to dwell in a state of being uncomfortable. I would say change. We have to dwell in a state of change. Because that cycles of transformation that I talked about in the last video, mine, for me, that chaos, clarity, and calm, allows for me to move, to change, to grow, to shift. So wellness is a state of change, states of growth, moving beyond being uncomfortable, engineering yourself to be small, invisible, not seen, not heard, not loved, and stepping into the next step of telling yourself, I'm worthy. I'm worthy of love. I am happy. I am peace. Peace dwells within me. Internal states become an outward manifestation, friends. I wish you wellness. I wish you peace. I wish you happiness. I appreciate you for sharing this time with me. This video has been almost double our initial time, but I felt it necessary to share a little more, to be a little more transparent today. Because having mechanisms of wellness or wellness strategies, friends, develop in your shift from not being well to claiming your wellness. And for me, claiming my wellness has been in those 3 stages. Standing up for myself, standing in my truth, as I've done with you today. Letting go of the need to be small, unseen, unheard, whatever that is for you. But also leaning in into courage, leaning into vulnerability, to be authentic, to be my most truthful. Because all of those things keep me in a state of wellness. That's all I have for you today, friends. I appreciate you so much for spending just a little more time with me today. I hope you are able to take something from this, take some notes. Remember I said, eat what's good. You can discard the rest. Wellness gets to be defined by you. As your guide, I get to share and be grateful for your wellness as I share my path to wellness with you. I am grateful that you are here. Remember to comment below. What is one of your wellness strategies? I'd love to hear it. Be sure to share this with someone you love. Remember, if you haven't heard it today, I love you. You matter. I care. Friends, it's been great. I'm Atunde, and this has been my story. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye now.